Hi friends, welcome to Graphics Tutorials. Today the topic that we are going to discuss is swatches, and the software we are talking about is Illustrator. Now what is swatches? Swatches is a panel where you can store your customized colors, your patterns which you want to use it later on. So go to Windows, here you have this swatches panel. So from here you can just add your colors, gradients and your patterns. Here you have several other options which will be helpful if you want to customize your view. Just click here, show all swatches. This will show all your color, gradients, patterns and your color groups. Then you have your color swatches where you'll be able to see the colors only. Then you have the gradient swatches where you will be able to see the gradients only. Then you have your pattern swatches where you'll be able to see the patterns, and the last one is your color group. Okay, so I'm switching it to show all swatches. Now if you want to customize or take any color which is not there in your swatches panel, what you do is you just take any of the shape and take a color which is not there in your swatches panel. Say for example this one. Now you just select your selection tool and you just drag it into your swatches panel. See, the color has been added here. You don't need this box, you can just delete it. I'll just change the color so that you can have a better look. Say like this. Take any of the shape that you want and you want to change this to this color, you just click on this swatch. See, if you're going to make some custom shape, there also you can use the same color and it will be there until and unless you delete this color or the swatch or you uninstall the software. So I just delete this thing. Now the next thing that we are going to talk about is customizing a pattern for a swatch. Say for example we have these two patterns, so this one and this one, right? So this two are by default inbuilt patterns, but what if we want to create a new pattern? Just keep one thing in mind: whenever you are designing a pattern, the software will take the pattern in a square format. Say for example this star, see this selection, this is in a square mode. Okay, so when you are designing, say for example if I take this rectangle, see, I'll be getting the same thing. So it's better that if you use a rectangle for your swatches pattern, then you will be able to customize your pattern according to your requirement. But if you want to create a pattern like this or a shape like this as your pattern, you're also welcome for that. In that case, what the software will do, it will take the thing like this. Okay, so this extra space will be added as a part of your pattern. Okay, so according to your requirement, you can keep the space, you can just do it in a rectangle way, so it's up to you. So now making of the patterns. Here one more interesting thing is that I'll change this to something solid. Okay, now a bit lighter shade, and I want a stroke color. Now say for example I make a rectangle like this and I increase the stroke weight to 16. Okay, so this is my stroke and this is my fill. Now I'll be doing the same thing but in a different way. I'll just remove this stroke, so I have this red box. Now what I do is I'll just duplicate this box by pressing Alt, and I'll change this fill color to black, and I'll paste this thing on top of this. Right click, arrange center back. By pressing Alt Shift, I just increase the box which is behind. In both the cases, see, we are getting the same result. Now what happens if you are making a pattern and you want this stroke line to be the same, of the same weight, then you have to make this in this format, that make the stroke and the fill along with the same pattern or same box. See, the stroke weight remain the same, but if you want the stroke to get reduced as you are copying the design, then you can do this thing. See the difference? The stroke, although this is not a stroke, this is a fill, but here in this pattern it is acting like a stroke, so it got descended, right? So in this case, I'm going to use this as my pattern. Now press Ctrl G to make it in a group. If you are using a Mac based OS, then use Command G. Groups help in moving the thing together. Okay. Now, if you want your pattern to be in a larger scale, then make this large. If you want it in a smaller scale, then make it small. I'll be using, or rather showing it in both the ways. Just drag this thing and place it here. So here you have this swatch. Now this one was a bigger one. I'm reducing this to a bit smaller, like this, and I'll drag it inside this swatch again. So I have these two designs. One is bigger and one is smaller. I'll just delete this thing. Done. Now I'll take a shape and I click on this thing. This acts on both fill and stroke. Okay, so I'm using it in our fill, right? See, this is the bigger one and this is the smaller one. Now what the software does is, this is your working area and this is your artboard. What the software does is that it applies the swatches in this entire area. So see, for example, if I increase the dimensions of my rectangle, see, you notice in a proper way, see, this is fixed, right? Now if you are using star, see, and you can apply this in any of your customized shape also. Say for example, done. Now if you want your customized swatches to have spaces in between, like this, then I'll be pressing Ctrl G and I'll drag this content here. See, it's not getting added because it is taking this pattern, so I have to make a new pattern. Okay, so I'll just change this to something solid. Something like this. Okay, I'll change the color so that you can have a proper view of the content after it's been acting as a pattern, right? So this is the thing. I'll press Ctrl G from my keyboard and I'll drag it here. See, I have this thing. Now I'll delete the thing. I'll make a shape like this, and see, it can be applied in the stroke as well, as said earlier. But see, the stroke is so small weight. If you just increase it, see. So you can use this thing in your logo also if you're making a customized logo and you want something specifications like this. So friends, this was our topic for today. That was swatches. Please subscribe to my channel, graphics tutorial. Thank you for watching.